There we go. So our goal today is to show you how to max out your gym in 90 days, right? Specifically for small group personal training facilities and all the pieces that need to come together to make this happen, because it's not just one silver bullet that's going to do it. There's multiple pieces here. But just so you know who you're talking to and who's on the call, I'll introduce myself. My single facility, just opened a second facility, but so we're still in the process on that. But my single facility does over 7 figures. I've been in the industry for 16 years. That facility is fully outsourced, so I don't do anything in that facility anymore. My sales team, I have a sales team over there, full training staff, the whole nine. We train about 220 small group members out of that facility, and do about 90K a month there, with 40% profit margins. And my co-host here, Anthony.
What's up?
Introduce himself.
What's up, guys? How we doing? Usually I'm the one who's introducing everyone, usually. So here I am Jimmy's introducing me, so things have changed. But guys, I am a multi-location owner. I have 2 facilities out here in Long Island, and I am fully doing nothing. I literally struggle with what I need to do every day because my gym doesn't need me, which is a great feeling to have because I have freedom of time. My gym runs at a high profit margin, so I'm making money, getting to hang out with my kids all the time, and just having that freedom of time, which is ultimately the best way to be rich, I believe, because with freedom of time, you can do so much more in your life. I spend a lot of my time with my kids, and you only get kids once, right? Like you only get to stay with them a certain amount of time. And, I've been able to watch my kids grow from a lot of the stuff that we're going to be teaching you guys today. So not only do we want to increase your profits, but we also want to increase and give you the freedom with it as well.
Perfect. So, but just because we're at where we're at doesn't mean we haven't been where you are. So burnt the candle at both ends, worked 70-hour weeks, had horrible landlords, horrible employees, people stealing from us, having to fire and hire people, high rent areas, bad guru advice, stuff that did not get us anywhere in our businesses and had us only focused on our mindset and not on actual tactics and strategies that grow a real business. So we're here to disrupt the market of business coaching a little bit and let you guys know what the actual actionable items are that you need to take to get to where you want to go. But just because we're here now doesn't mean we don't understand where you are. And if you stay to the end of our presentation, we do have a special gift, which is our, it's about 50-page manual on how to scale to 7 figures in your small group training gym. So there's plenty of stuff in there to guide you on how to get through each of these aspects and each stage that you have to go through to get there. Because we've gone from being personal trainers at big box facilities to having our own small group 7-figure facility. So we'll show you how to do that. All right. This is the goal. We're learning how to do this and every aspect that's involved. We work with some successful gym owners. TJ, we really helped him with his sales. You can kind of read what he says here, but just so you guys know, we have been doing this for other gym owners and we have been helping them get to where they want to go through predominantly changing and modifying their sales framework and how we're actually going to get them to close more deals, get more clients, and ultimately gain more profit in their facility. Okay. So TJ is one of our good success stories. He's been on our sales calls. We brought his team on. He doesn't actually jump on our trainings. So he outsourced it to us. We help his team learn how to do this properly and jumps on with us on our sales stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that was the key right there. Also, sorry, Jimmy, not to cut you off, but that was the key right there is when you're in a position in your business where you're able to delegate your staff stuff to somebody else, it frees you up to do more things in your business that are higher level tasks as opposed to spending the time training your staff on sales.
So. Right. So what we're going to go over today, these are the keys to unlocking 7 figures in your facility. We have to go over your model, how we're going to change it, what we're going to do about it, and what models actually work. We're going to show you how to acquire new clients on a bird's eye view of all these different ways to acquire clients. You have to have specific referral plays, digital marketing, external referral partnerships, and your website has to be very powerful. If all of these things aren't hitting at the same time, you are subject to the Zuckerberg algorithm, and that's all you're depending on for your business growth. It does not work, because once those don't work, you don't have these other things working in the background to actually bolster your business when that takes a dive. Okay. So all of these things need to be functional all at the same time to actually get you to where you want to go. Okay. It's not a one-shot trick. It's all of these things together. Okay. We'll go through your sales system and how you operate that sales system and the important aspects of it. And then how to manage your team. And these are the aspects that we find, once these are all dialed in, is the perfect scenario to get your business to where it needs to go.
Yeah, one of the things I think that we were looking for very early on, when we both had maybe $500,000 facilities at this point, is looking for the silver bullet. How am I going to get more clients? How am I adding more profit? These are the questions that we were asking ourselves, when in reality, we've actually learned this pretty recently and came to this realization pretty recently that it's not one thing. It's a lot of things working together at once. So, 100%. Go ahead, Jimmy.
100%. Okay. Why are these topics important though? Right? Because I could just tell you a bunch of stuff, and if it doesn't speak to you in importance, then you're not going to do anything about it. So the importance of this is it's going to give you freedom from your business and the profit you deserve and your ability to impact more lives. Because that's what we get into this business in the first place for, is to impact more people positively. But when you're owning your own gym, you got into it for freedom and profit, right? Because if you just wanted to help impact lives, you would be a trainer at another gym, because you can do that. But that's not the reasoning. So that's why every aspect of this is important to nail. Okay, let's talk about what your business looks like right now. And Jake, I know we talked about how your business looks currently, but let's just dive into the two different kind of businesses that we see and where you actually want to go. So most small gyms are in this range, right? They have less than 100 members. They're what we coin the Frankenstein gym, which means you're doing all these different things: small group, large group, kickboxing, yoga, Pilates. All this stuff is happening in a small group facility or in a small studio. So you are not anything to anyone. You are watered down everything. So you never really know what is producing the profit in your facility, and you're holding on to things that are taking away from your focus of the one path that you want to go down. So you have to pick one and go with it. Most of these gyms that are under 100 members a month, they're doing under 10K a month. A lot of gyms are in this position, and they're solopreneurs, or they have maybe one trainer helping them. A lot of them have been in business less than 3 years. They're working 70 to 80 hours a week. And if they keep going at this pace, they won't be in business for another year. This is not the life we signed up for. This is not what you want. What you want, and how we get to 7 figures, is we have to push to 200 members. Those 200 members need to be in small group training model. Okay. You'll have 4 staff, maybe more. If you have less staff, we can have better profit out of it. And your owner time commitment should be less than 10 hours a week. And normally this is going to take more than 3 years to get there. It can take a little bit less if you have all the tools and you get the shortcuts like we're going to teach you today. Another successful gym owner of ours, okay, Laura, was actually able to close over 30 clients in 1 month with our help. And we were able to transform her gym and allow her to actually close deals when she was struggling to close deals for months. A record of 30 new clients, small group clients. These are $400 tickets, okay? 30 new clients in a month. All right, the broken training model. Let's go into it. So I'll let Anthony kind of go into the broken training model and what it looks like from the perspective that we have.
So we got a couple of different options here, right? So when we talk about small group and personal training, there's a couple of different ways that you can actually skin a cat, right? You could have, boot camp, where you're, large group, a lot of people in a room, 30, 40, 50 people to one trainer in the room. You have CrossFit type facilities. And usually the ticket price on those is anywhere between 100 to 200 bucks a month. And your play here is volume, trying to get as much people as you can into your facility, kind of pack them in. Everybody gets the same kind of standard workout. And yeah, that's that model. Then you also have the one-on-one model, which is where I came from. My background, I used to run a goals gym. I had so many trainers working underneath me, and I just did one-on-one personal training. That's all I did. It was all my business was. But problem with that is it's a higher ticket sale, right? Like, $800 to $1,000 a month is what you're charging, but you can only handle so many hours. And one of the things with one-on-one that I was always so afraid of, and the thing that was always in the back of my mind is, whatever happened if I broke my foot? If God forbid I broke my leg, what happens? I used to hate getting sick because I was like, I'd lose, so much money just because I'm sick and I can't train that person. Now that person has another session that can't be trained. It's just not as scalable. And then we have small group personal training, which is right in the middle, that 300 to 500 bucks a month, which is what we believe is the sweet spot when it comes to personal training and actually having a personal training business, where it's not a large group, low ticket item that, it's going to take you forever to make money every month, where small group is kind of right in the middle. It's a good enough price point, those groups are down to like anywhere between 1 to 6 people, max to 1 personal trainer. So you can develop and give them a more of a customized type program. And you're at that sweet spot where it's not too cheap and it's not too expensive. Everybody can kind of afford it. And that is the one that we believe is the best. I think I just kind of skipped ahead here, but yeah. So yeah, exactly. With boot camp, there's too much volume. You're reliant on so many people to actually make money. And remember, we're a brick and mortar facility, which means that you're only going to get people that are within, 7 to 8 miles of your facility. So you don't have the world to pull from here. One-on-one is going to be really expensive for most people. Like we said, that ticket price is 800 to 1,000 bucks a month. Not everyone can afford that. And the small group is going to be just right. And in order to make and have a good 7-figure gym, you only need about 100 small group clients, give or take, to get to that certain run rate.
Yeah, you'll make a great living at 100, because if you're charging them 400 and your profit margins are where they need to be, you're still going to make a good living there. And you only need 100 people to train to make a good living. Get to that $1 million run rate, you got to double it. But at 100 members, you're still doing 40K a month. So if you run the profit margins right, you can make a really good living with 100 clients. It's all you need if you do the small group program correctly. Okay. How does the small group model work though? 6-to-1 ratio. I tend to have 7-to-1 at my facility so that we have some wiggle room there, because some sessions will be 5, some sessions will be 7. It allows us to have a little bit of wiggle room between the actual straight 6. Okay. So that's where I position mine, right? Depending on how big your facility is, you have to make that decision for yourself. I like personally month-to-month agreements. Anthony tends to go back and forth on month-to-month or year agreements. It's up to you. But I like the month-to-month agreements because they're easier to sell, personally. You may not have as good of retention with month-to-month because they can get out of the agreement more easily and they're not as committed. But I like it because when I have somebody else selling for me, it's easier for them to sell it. You have set session times and they start and end on time all the time. You don't go over. You tell people you're done. You kick them out of the facility. It's set and it's structured and systemized. The model is strength-based movements. We're not doing cardio circuits. We're not doing boot camp-based workouts. We're doing nitpicky, intimate coaching with each one of these individuals, and we're customizing it on the fly. These people don't have to have customization of their training sessions built as a program outside. You don't need an app. You don't need these other things where you develop customized programs for each individual. Now, sometimes an app helps you because it helps with accountability of the members, but it doesn't need to be a customized program for each individual. It can be templated, and you customize it based on how they're feeling that day. Because it's such a small group, you can do that and give them that personalized touch. We can do some full custom but you want to charge more for full custom. Okay. Get a little more money for that because it's your coach's time. Okay. In addition,
Yeah. I'm going to jump in
part-time.
really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Jimmy. I want to jump in really quick. So the reason why we also like the strength-based movements is because, like Jimmy said, you're really going to be able to get intimate with their cues. But this is also what differentiates the price point as well. So when you're in a boot camp, $100 a month, $200 a month, big, large group classes, there's really no customization and really no coaching going on. You might have one person in the room that's just instructing everybody, but there's a difference between instruction and coaching. And people will pay top dollar for coaching. So there's a big difference there. So that's why we like the strength-based movements, because people can get way more coaching from that and hence perceive it to be higher value.
100%. You can't have a boot camp based workout in a small group. That's not small group training. That's just boot camp that has less people, right? So there's a distinct difference in the programming. So if you're running both in your facility, there's going to be this distinct difference in the programming. So they're very different products. Because if they're the same product and it's just less people, the value is not perceived by the client. Okay. And then we talk about our coaches in the model. For the most part, your coaches are going to be full-time. Okay. They're going to be full-time coaches, run the plays, clean the gym, do the admin work, do additional client service when they're not training clients, and we can pack some one-on-one sessions into the sessions in which they have free. Okay. They're full-time employees. Part-time employees don't work as well in the small group model. They don't have as much buy-in. They're not on the same page with the way that each member needs to be trained. They don't have intimate relationships with these members. It's better to have full-time employees and give them other tasks to manage outside of their training hour time. On a side note, I would also not vary their pay. So I would not say admin work is worth X and training work is worth Y. I would say, this is your hourly rate. These are the tasks I need done. Okay. That makes it cleaner, more simple, and they're more bought into the model in that case. Okay. Don't penalize them for having to do admin work that you need them to do. Get their hourly and get them set. Okay. You don't want to switch this completely, at least bolt it on. If you have a bootcamp facility right now, bolt this on. You have a one-on-one facility right now, bolt this on. This will be a big profit center for your business, and it allows you to have better retention, sell more members at a higher clip, and keep them longer and get them better results. Okay. All right. Client acquisition is the next thing we're going to talk about. So I'll go ahead and jump into a couple of these. But when we're looking at client acquisition, there are 4 things we want to look at. So it's not just going to be your Facebook marketing. A lot of people depend, they're like Facebook marketing. Facebook marketing works and it helps and it scales, but these other plays need to be in play in your business to make this work all the way through. So the first thing, client referral plays. Buddy Week is the claim to fame, the most important one. Okay. We have a free training on this that you can download. You go to our Instagram, our link tree has got a link to this free training that we did on how to implement Buddy Week into your program. We have a free training. It's like 20-minute training, and we got the documents and everything for you. Okay. That's free. You can just grab that. The Buddy Week play is where you have your clients bring in a friend for free. You have a week every other month where you run it, and you run it like clockwork. It's plugged into your marketing calendar. It's plugged into your business. Your staff needs to be trained up on how to talk about it, and they need to run it. Another way we do it, a free month. A couple times a year, you have a free month play where you say, all your members, I need the contact information of your friend or family member that wants to take advantage of this free month. And you follow up with them like a normal lead, have a session with them. It's true free. They come in, free month. The end of the month, you meet with them again, you close them on a membership. Okay. Last year, we ran this campaign in our facility in August, and we gained 30 new members from the free month campaign. 30 new paid members the following month. Very powerful. And then charity workouts. If you're not already doing charity workouts, it's a great way to engender good feeling in your community and get a couple of clients every time you run one, because your clients invite their friends to come in and you set them up with an evaluation. Okay. Very simple. Run these plays all the time. Every other month, we switch back and forth. Charity workout buddy week, charity workout buddy week, charity workout buddy week, free month, charity workout buddy week, boom, 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 boom. And you just program them in, give people the lead time on it, make sure you're implementing this stuff. If you don't know how to implement this, we can help you do that. Okay. Paid acquisition. Okay. When we look at paid acquisition, we have very simple structure and setup for this. Facebook marketing, we're going to run lead ads for the most part. That's where the money is right now. We're going to run lead ads. You got to make sure your images, your videos, your copy, and your follow-up are all sequenced properly to get that new lead into the system. Okay. Your offer does make a difference, but if you don't have good creative, you don't have good images, and you have bad follow-up, it's not going to work. What we have found is the fortune is in the follow-up with these Facebook leads. So I have found in my market, video works better. Anthony has found in his market, images work better. You've got to test these things. Okay. When we look at copy, short copy works better than long copy. Okay. And your follow-up sequence needs to be dialed in. You have to pick up the phone and start dialing these leads very frequently to get them in and booked.
Yeah, this is where the gold is, guys. I mean, you have to follow up. And you might be thinking that you're following up with your leads right now. You're probably watching this and saying to yourself, yeah, I do a good job of that. I can guarantee you that you can do better, because you're going to have a certain percentage of people that are going to be just to sign up right away. It's just the way it works. Certain amount of people are just going to be ready and are willing to sign up. But you're going to get people who are maybe, they're kind of on the fence. And the ability for you to make a lot of money and to profit and to get to 7 figures is going to come from your ability to convert those maybe people into yes right now. And the way you do that is with a good follow-up structure. And again, these are things that we would teach you, but that is the gold right there, turning those maybes into yeses.
100%. Okay, this is one that's really near and dear to my business. Okay, external referral partnerships. Physical therapists, doctors, and chiropractors are your best friends as business partnerships in your area. What you need to do, your clients are going to get hurt at some point. Okay, don't tell me your clients never get hurt. Your training program is so good that they're never injured. I can guarantee you, you will have an injured client at some point in your facility. Probably more like 15% of your clients are going to be injured at some point. And they need somebody to see that's going to help them where your skills end and somebody else's skills begin. And that's chiropractors, doctors, and physical therapists. So you need referral partners. Introduce yourself to all of the local physical therapists and chiropractors are the best places to go. Doctors are a little bit harder to generate referral partnerships from. Okay. But when a doctor does refer you a client, they're in for life, because that doctor is referring you clients because they need to build their bone density, because they're going to go on diabetes medication if they don't see you, because of these life-changing things that motivate them to get into your facility. Chiropractors are much more business-minded than physical therapists or doctors. So chiropractors are great referral sources because they are looking at building their business as well. So what you need to do, you start referring out to a specific physical therapist. You follow up with that physical therapist as to the treatment plan for that individual. You go into their facility while your client is getting service from this individual. You sit in on the appointment. And from that, you develop a relationship with that individual. From that sit-in appointment, you schedule a coffee date or a lunch out with that physical therapist so you can talk to them about your philosophy around training. When you do those things, you develop a tight-knit relationship with that individual. They have somebody they can refer people out to that need more strength training, and they will do that for you. The relationship is going to be more referrals to them than they give you most of the time. But if you develop 2 or 3 relationships with physical therapists locally, you will get referrals from those individuals and build a business partnership with that person. It seems like a lot of time out of your business. It seems like you would just rather put up a Facebook ad and wait for the leads to come through. But the leads that you get from physical therapists will close at a 90% clip. So even if you get 3 or 4 referrals a month from a physical therapist, most of those clients become clients of yours and become clients for life. So it's a very important partnership to establish. And you just got to do a little bit of legwork and a little bit of belly to belly interaction with these individuals. Something that we use a lot in our first facility. Okay. One other very important part. If your website sucks, you're not getting good leads from your website. We know Facebook lead conversion rates are not that high. Website lead conversion rates are insane.
Yeah. And the reason why is because think about it, guys. If you needed a plumber right now, you needed to find a dentist right now, are you going to go on Facebook and see an ad for a plumber? You're probably not, right? If you need a plumber right now, you're ready, you need a plumber, you go to Google and you search plumbers near me. That's how you find the plumber. You don't go on Facebook to do that. So someone who's going to find you from your website has more intent on getting started, because what are they typing in? Personal trainer near me, how to get in shape near me, gyms near me. These are the things they're typing in because they have a pain point. So they're more ready to buy. This is why website leads are the best leads that you can get, because they're ready now. So you got to be able to have your website be able to convert and get them in right away. So speed to lead, especially with website leads, are very, very important, because if they're calling you, they're also calling so many other facilities. And this, how do you convince somebody that you're the place? Reviews. You have to get a ton of reviews and social proof and make people believe that, and not believe, but let them know that your program is the best. And the way people do that is with social proof. Social proof is very, very important when it comes to getting clients to buy into your program and believing that, hey, if that person can do it, I can do it too.
100%. I mean, Anthony's got probably 200 reviews on Google.
Yeah, on one facility. Yeah. And then I probably have close to 100 and something on the other. So probably give or take around 350 total for just both for the 2 facilities. But again, it just, my next competition has like 60. So there's no competition there. So if someone's typing in personal training near me, chances are they're going to come to us first.
Right. And on top of Google My Business and the referrals, or excuse me, the reviews, you want to optimize your website's SEO. Easy ways to do that. Write blogs regularly, comparison blogs, right? Long form blog posting on your website builds your SEO quite a bit. And then posting videos on YouTube, the YouTube that is linked to your website, makes a big difference as well. And link your website in your YouTube videos. These things are going to build the SEO of your website to make it come up first, right? In addition to Google reviews, you want Yelp reviews as well, because that then builds your SEO too. So give people a reward for reviewing you, free protein, whatever it may be. Come up with something that's worth it, because a review on Google is worth the wholesale cost that you have for protein powder, right? You're paying $20 for a tub of protein, or $15 or whatever, and then you're selling it for $50. You give them a $50 voucher for protein, costs you $20 to get them to post that Google review. Way worth it. Okay, another one of our successful gym owners from working with us. After 8 weeks, signed up 38 clients in 28 days during normally a slow season. Built her sales skills with us. Your sales system. I'm gonna let Anthony take the sales, because he's the sales guy of the crew here.
All right, guys. So first things we got to look at when we talk about your sales system is we have to be charging premium pricing. Like I said earlier, you're only going to get people, we're brick and mortar facilities. So you're only going to get people who are within a certain radius of your gym. And after a while, you're going to kind of burn your market out, so to say. There's only so many people that you can get in your area. So for example, if I was just wanted to open up a regular gym and I charge $50 a month, I have to have a lot of people join my gym in order to make any type of money. So I'm talking about, if we did just quick math here really fast, let me just open my calculator because I'm horrible at it. But let's just say I charge $50 a month, which is a lot for a regular gym membership. In order for me to, if I had 100 clients, that's $5,000 a month. That's nothing, right? So I need more. So let's do it by 300 members. It's 15,000. Again, you guys can see like these numbers just keep escalating and escalating. And what's going to come with that, right? How can I compete with $50 memberships when you have, an Equinox and LA Fitness, all these other big gyms that swap out equipment all the time and have pools and this and that? There's no way you can compete. So we need to look at premium pricing because we only have a certain amount of people in that area. And like we said before, the one-on-one is kind of good for premium pricing because you can get a big number at a big clip right away. The problem is that if you have a local people in your market, there's only so many of those people who can afford to pay $1,000 a month. Because let's face it, training is a luxury, right? So we need that good pricing model. And that's why we also love the small group model because it's priced right in the middle between $300 and $500 a month. So it's affordable for most people and you're going to be able to deliver a more of a quality type service to those people to get them to stay. And you can make more profit rather quickly doing it that way as well. Now, we have to look at your membership options. We recommend having 3 membership options, a good, a better, and a best. And the reason why we recommend that is because it's going to ultimately push people to the option that we want to sell them. So in our case, we do 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and unlimited. So our twice a week option is $360 a month. Our 3 times a week option is $400 a month. So, and our top of the line is like $599. So if somebody looks at the pricing structure, the unlimited is kind of like, all right, that's a lot, that's out. And then they're looking at the lower model and they're like, well, it's $360 for an extra $40. I can come, 4 times more, whatever that is. All right, I'll pick that one. And that's structured like that for a reason because that's the option that we want them to take. So you have to look at your member options. If you have 10,000 different options, like I'll never forget when we sold at a Gold's Gym, we had a pricing sheet and there was, 1 month option, 3 month option, 6 month option, 12-month option, half-hour option, hour option. No, 3 options. A simple mind buys, a confused mind never buys. So we got to keep it short and concise. We have 3 options here, good, better, best, and you push them to the option that you want them to go to. Almost like a car wash. Car wash usually has like a good, better, best. So that's kind of like where you would find that same type of model. So next time you're at a car wash, just look at the pricing structure and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the next thing with your sales system is you have to have a cadence for reaching out to your clients, your prospects. You have to have a follow-up sequence that you follow. Like I said, it could be something as simple as having a Google sheet with any person who contacts you. You put their name, their number, and what happened. You have to be able to track it. You guys are losing money if you're not tracking the leads that come in. Good gyms and 7-figure gyms are masters at knowing their numbers. And that's the same thing when it comes to follow-up. You have to be able to follow up with your leads in the correct way and never let a lead go lost. I remember when I was doing it by myself, when I first initially started, it was tough to follow up with all those people. And I thought I did, but I know that so many people fell through the cracks because I was busy. I was busy training people. I was busy billing people and all this other stuff, cleaning the gym. But you have to have a good follow-up system in order to actually guarantee that revenue over and over and over, because chances are it's going to take 6 to 8 reach outs to actually get somebody in. 6 to 8. So think about that. You have to have what we call the 7-figure sales framework, which is, again, it's not a script, but it's more of a framework to selling. How you transition someone from a cold lead to a hot sizzling lead. That's part of the framework that we teach you guys. And again, it is all going to boil down to the phone call. Think about it. First things first, how many times have you guys called businesses or have been on the phone with businesses and you're just like, I know every time I have to call somebody for a business, I'm always judging, right? Because I have a business, I have businesses. So I'm always judging other people's businesses. And there are times where it's just like, it's horrible on the phone. Like you're not even getting an answer. So I'll give you guys a quick little story. My son, I wanted to put him in jiu-jitsu. So I called a place local to the house, and a jiu-jitsu business is pretty similar to like our training business, so to say, right? So call the place. Hey, how does it work? I want to put my son in it. And I was genuinely interested in signing him up. They're like, oh, you could just bring him in for a free session. Do you want to come tonight? That was basically it. They didn't tell me any other information. Did I go in? No, I just didn't. I wasn't like intrigued. They didn't really like, because I was kind of like on the fence. Like, do I want him to do this? Do I not want him to do this? And I got no information over the phone. This is why having a cadence and structure to the phone call is so, so important, because it turns somebody from a maybe to a hot to get them into the next step.
All right. Phone call stuff, very important. You need a script for the phone call. We'll help you with it. We'll design the script. We'll go through what you got. We'll diagnose what's going on with the issues with your scripting on the call. Very important part of your sales system. But once you have your sales system dialed in, you have your acquisition dialed in, you have your model dialed in. The next thing we have to do is build your team properly and manage your team properly. And that's what we're about to go over. Because without this, you're stuck doing everything in your business and you have no freedom. So let's look at the team, right? You need processes and systems to operate your business. And you need processes and systems as to how to train your team on your processes and systems. So just having processes and systems in your business alone does not mean that your staff is going to follow them, and does not mean that they know them, right? One example from our book that we'll give you a little teaser on is, I'll let Anthony go into the book component, because this was his story.
Yeah, so guys, you have to look at your team and setting up systems and processes as not so much just a checklist, but so let's just say, for example, I hired Jimmy to come over to my house, and his job was solely to make my bed. I said, Jimmy, I'm going to pay you all this money, and your job is just to make my bed. So I hand him the money. I said, okay, you start tomorrow. So tomorrow, he comes over. I get out of bed. I walk out of the room, and Jimmy makes the bed. Jimmy has no instructions on how to make the bed, so he makes it the way he wants to make it. I come back into the room, and I'm completely furious. This is not right. It's not the right way to do it at all. This is totally wrong. But I set Jimmy up for failure because I didn't explain to him exactly how I want it. So now what I do is I set up a system for it. It's okay. As soon as I get out of the bed, your job is to pull the sheets up 6 inches away from the pillow. You're going to stack the pillows at 90-degree angles, whatever it is, right? But now I have a structured system for him to do. Now I hand him the structure and I say, Jimmy, watch me do the bed. So Jimmy watches me do the bed. The next day, Jimmy comes in. Say, okay, Jimmy, you make the bed. I'm going to watch you. So now I watch Jimmy make the bed. He lines everything up. He measures 6 inches from here. The pillows are at 90 degrees. Perfect. The third day, Jimmy's off and making the bed by himself. That's the same way you need to look at your team and the system around your entire business. The systems in your business are going to give you the freedom. So if you want more freedom in your business and you want to ultimately make more, you've got to develop strong systems. One of the lenses that I like to look at when I do this is, can my daughter do it? Can my daughter come in and execute a training session? My daughter's 9, by the way. So if she can come in and execute a training session, anybody can do that. And that's how systemized and detailed you want your systems and processes to be, because that is repeatable and scalable. Like I said, if I just told Jimmy, here's money, go do the bed, and just let him go, Jimmy might make the bed excellent, but it might not be to the standard that I want. And that's where the issues break down with people setting up systems in their business.
And how we implement this with our team is our meeting structure, okay? So we're looking at meeting structures with our team and how we're actually going to manage them. We want to have a specific meeting structure to make sure that our growth in our business can continue to maintain and accelerate that revenue growth. These are the things that are going to do that with your team. So 2 weekly meetings. one business numbers meeting with your core staff, one trainer meeting with your entire staff. So your core staff are people that take on more responsibility at your facility, are involved with the retention numbers, are involved with the conversion numbers, the sales numbers. Like, only certain members of your team need to know the numbers. So your main team is going to be at this business numbers meeting. Your full team is going to be at this trainer meeting. The trainer meeting is where you go over the nuts and bolts and ins and outs of how you're providing the service to members. What pitfalls we have, what member problems we're dealing with, what technique we need to learn so that everybody is sharp on everything they're doing in your business. You want this tip of this spear of your business to be as sharp as you can make it. And this is your frontline staff. Okay. I also reserve half-hour one-on-ones with each staff member once a week, which allows me to hedge off issues before they become issues. So I talk to those members, or your manager could do it. I talk to those members of my team about things that they are dealing with, things that they need help with over the course of every single week for half an hour. They have that time is theirs. And we'll go over special projects they're going over, whatever it may be. On top of that, you need to review your staff on a quarterly cadence based upon how well they are adhering to your core values of your business. This is 3 to 5 values that are associated with how the culture of your gym operates and what it is that your staff needs to be abiding by. They rank themselves on core value fit. You rank them on core value fit. You compare those rankings and talk to them about any specific thing that needs to be worked on over the next quarter. You have marching orders over that next quarter. You give them a ranking. And if your rankings are very far off from each other, you know there's a problem. If your rankings are really close, then we're good and we can continue to move forward. If more than a couple meetings in a row, your staff member is rated on those 5 core values, if 3 of them are below standard for 2 meetings, that person's got to go. So we have to make sure we're pruning this tree as we go to have the right staff in place. Okay. So something I'm very passionate about. I like meetings. I like keeping my team together on that stuff. So anything you want to add on this, Anthony?
Yeah, I don't think you have to go super crazy with this. I think that the main thing is we actually did an episode on this. You guys can go back and listen to this, but you want to have some structure to your meetings, but I don't think you need to go crazy as far as like, oh, what do I need to say? What do I need to do? And I think you can make these a little bit quicker. The goal here is, again, to bring up your trainers and to level them up. Your job has went from being the best trainer at your facility to the best teacher of trainers in your facility. And that's teaching them to do everything, teaching them how to sell, teaching them how to coach correctly, teaching them how to clean the bathroom, whatever it is that they're doing. Your job is just to teach them to do that task. So don't go crazy about what the structure of your meeting should look like and how many of these meetings you should have. Just be consistent with them. Have some type of a structure to it that works with you, and just continuously be training your staff, because the more you level up them, the more you're going to level up your business.
Okay. So we've been over all of the aspects of how you get to this business, how you get to the 7-figure business, every single piece that's involved. Okay. So right now, we've only been talking for 40 minutes or so, maybe an hour. Right now, you may be feeling some information overload. Maybe you don't know which one of these aspects to start with, or you may be overwhelmed with all the work that needs to be done now, or the perceived work that needs to be done on some of the things that you maybe didn't think about before jumping on this. Okay. But there is a solution. But what most gym owners do at the end of a training like this, they take a bunch of notes, think about what they should do, get excited about having a bigger business, get overwhelmed, and then do nothing. The path to a great gym is paved with good intentions, but actually getting there takes a lot of work. Okay. So how do we do this? Where are you at? Are you just like every other gym owner who's going to take all this information and do nothing and continue to struggle? Are you part of the 1% of gym owners that actually take action and make all these aspects of your business happen? Information is great. We know all this information, but what do we do with it? You could try to implement it and struggle on your own, or you could put somebody in your corner that's actually been where you want to be and can guide you through every step of the way to get there. And that's where we come in. Right now, we have 5 spots left this month for gym owners that are serious about growing their profits, freedom, and impact. How we help you grow. Our program, we start off with 3 onboarding calls where we install the 7-figure sales system in your business, do diagnosis of where you currently are, and pull levers to get you to where you want to go. And we make sure you master your follow-up sequence because that's where the riches are. Weekly, after those onboarding meetings, we do a sales training once a week and a group mastermind call once a week. The sales training is not just another mastermind call. This is specifically diving into your sales issues and teaching you how to sell properly so that you're actually closing people. You feel good about it. They stay for long term, and they're not people that are just going to be in your gym one month and out of your gym the next month. There's a specific structure to this that we have to teach to make sure that you're actually keeping clients long term. And it's how you talk to them. Okay. Now, are you ready to invest in your business? If you are, we can talk a little more deeply about that and schedule a call to diagnose your business issues outside of this presentation. And our free gift. You go to fitnessprofitmultiplier.com/book. You can download our blueprint to get you to 7 figures and beyond. Questions at this point? Jake,